You're listening to Built to Convert, the podcast where growth-minded marketers, founders, and creators come to level up. No hype, no guesswork, just bold insights that drive results. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Tyler Lane, founder of Session Interactive and host of Built to Convert, where I talk with growth-minded leaders in healthcare, tech, e-commerce, and finance, and many others. We dig into how data, marketing, and strategy come together to help organizations make smarter decisions and scale with purpose in today's digital world. This episode is brought to you by Session Interactive, a digital marketing agency that helps businesses turn complex data into clear strategy. From SEO and analytics to paid media and content, Session zeroes in on what truly drives growth, smarter decisions, and better user experiences. Known for their collaborative approach and measurable results, they partner with forward-thinking companies across industries to solve digital challenges and turn them into opportunities. Learn more at sessioninteractive.com. I have Chad Franzen today of Rise 25, who has done thousands upon thousands of interviews with successful entrepreneurs and CEOs. And we have flipped the script, and he will be interviewing me today. Chad, hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much, Tyler. Great to be here. Great job reading your sponsorship message. Yeah. Nice work. Hey, I'm looking forward to talking to you today, kind of getting to know more about you and more about Session Interactive. Tell me, as we get started here, what inspired you to start Session Interactive, and how did you kind of identify the need for those services in the market?
Yeah, Chad, great question. I think, long story short, right? I had worked in a variety of agencies over the years, and was lucky enough to get a ton of exposure to different channels, and really lucky enough to establish some great connections in my network. So that led me to think about, hey, I could likely do this on my own. But let's be clear, to be honest, I got let go of 3 different agencies in the span of about 4 or 5 years rather. And that was it was the impetus to say, hey, I think I can do this. I want to reach out to my network and likely see what I can make happen, and reestablish some of those connections, and started consulting after that.
So what do you think? Was it just different ideas, different waves of thinking between you and your previous employers?
Yeah, I think it was me trying to get understanding of how to do different things, right? Getting exposed to so many different things, from marketing automation to paid search and paid social, programmatic to SEO to analytics. I needed to become immersed and really understand those. I had a foundation before I got into agencies, but really wanted to figure out what my niche was, and really ultimately decided that it was SEO and analytics. And the agencies, I think, again, taught me a ton, and of some things that I really enjoyed, some things perhaps not to do. And it really fixated on, okay, this is an opportunity, and I can carve a niche out for myself. And that really was really around analytics and the background of SEO.
So when you got the ball rolling with Session Interactive, what were some of maybe the biggest challenges that you faced when building it from the ground up?
Yeah, fast forward, so I consulted for a couple of years, and then realized, like, hey, I got something here, right? I established rapport and developed some really good results with various clients. So ultimately, we formalized Session Interactive about 6 years ago, and realized, like, we could put together customized plans fixated on discovery, audit, strategy, and a roadmap to get them excited and understand, and to get them bought into a really structured plan that made sense for them, and then could be nimble and could change not on a whim, but as their companies evolved, as priorities evolved, and so forth. So that's really what structured how we think about things today.
I know you have a background in technical SEO and analytics. How does that kind of shape your approach to digital marketing strategies?
Yeah, it's a great foundation. I mean, I think technical SEO is a part of any website that's out there, right? Those core aspects across the board, and it really dovetails nicely into all other aspects of SEO, and then immersion of business, which is huge. And then without attributable data and without data cleanliness and a variety of other things, how are you going to obtain quality insights and know what to optimize and how to evolve things? So that's where analytics came through. It also helped me understand conversion rate optimization process around usability, testing, and things like that to just make the user experience better.
SEO, I know, is something that everybody is aware of, but a lot of people just don't really get it, don't understand it, not even sure. They know what it is, but they don't know how it works. What are maybe some common misconceptions about SEO and even SEM that you've encountered during your career?
Yeah, thanks, Chad. That's a great question as well. I mean, I think nowadays, right, as AI pundits are very like SEO is dead and all this thing. And, we found that just education is a huge aspect of what we do. We need to have a pulse on all the emerging technologies and all the different aspects. And really just, again, educating clients in terms of what this is. It's not just a singular channel. It can be sold like that, absolutely, but it is so immersive in terms of the core aspects. It's going to benefit all the channels, drive traffic to your sites. It's going to be, fixated on taking up more real estate within search engines as much as possible and just creating a better user experience that I went through before. And that's really what we think about SEO and the core aspects around it. Technical, on page, off page, local SEO, depending on what you need, and then really immersing it, into with other channels as well.
I know data is a huge part of plays a huge part of marketing and decision making, things like that. How do you kind of balance that data driven decision making with creativity?
Yeah, really good point. It's so often, especially I had this interaction with a designer years ago, and he approached me with the same thing. We were educating him on conversion paths and opportunities for improvements. And he approached me and he said, Tyler, like, this tends to hinder creativity. And I was quick to kind of respond to state like, listen, we're trying to improve conversion. We want to create the best user experience as possible. There's absolutely applicable aspects of design and uniqueness that we can always incorporate. But when it comes down to conversion elements, we need to stick to and test what we think and what we know works well. And that's what the client's paying for, and that's what they need it. So that's the biggest thing. We don't want to hinder creativity. It's the same thing with content as well. Our goal is to structure a program to get our content writers or the client's content writers as much information as possible so they can ideate faster and they can see a structure that makes sense for them. Again, trying to aid in creativity, not hinder it.
Mm-hmm. So you've worked for some other agencies. I'm sure you're aware of other agencies. What do you think makes Session Interactive unique compared to other digital marketing agencies?
Absolutely. So, the first things that come to mind for us is our analytics department, and that's a core differentiator of what we offer. We continue to interact. We have great agency partners. We have amazing clients, of course, and we've really understood that it's a key item to our success. We can spin up paid campaigns all day and SEO campaigns and structure great programs. But again, without the core aspects of analytics, making sure we trust the data and making sure we have quality data visualizations, that's really a huge differentiator of what we provide. And then I'd add to that is just experience. We're a small, nimble team. We're about 25 plus people, and everyone on the team has 10 plus years of experience generally in their particular areas. So it's not saying we don't want to hire younger talents, but we want to really bring on people that can own things and have seen it, right? Have got that deep experience.
How important is it even for people with a lot of experience to be kind of nimble though, and, flexible in terms of what they're willing to do and what they know?
Sure. I think, with any career after probably 10 years, there's aspects of being a bit jaded and hey, this works. I'm going to just fixate on this. And we try to cultivate an atmosphere where, again, we have a pulse on what's happening through innovation. And we have a pulse on what's working and what isn't. And we want to make sure that we lead with performance-based knowledge and insights as much as possible. So it's important that, we incorporate that in our growth plans for our team members to make sure that they're allocating 5 to 10% of their time towards innovation, towards learning new skill sets, and towards adapting to new technologies and new platforms. So mandated internally. And that's hopefully, a way to keep everyone thriving.
So I have hosted an entire episode on like a case study of or a success story of clients. Do you have a quick one you can share that kind of demonstrates the impact of your work?
Yeah, we do. We have a countless success stories. I'm not trying to brag by any means, but that's the goal, right? Is to showcase performance, attributable performance. We've got a variety of niches, but one in particular that comes to mind is our credit union niche. We really have been quite successful there. One in particular, credit union based here in Colorado, Canvas Credit Union, about 30 plus locations. They took us on, we took them on, right? So it was a collaborative partnership since day one, and revitalized their local search program, revitalized their content strategy, revitalized their technical SEO infrastructure. One of the bigger takeaways, Chad, was just attribution. Credit unions want applications. They want individuals to come in and digest and ensure that they're a trusted partner. And then therefore people will raise their hand or go through the process. And so attributable insights at the channel level was not established before. So we went in and made sure that was attributed correctly with utilizing Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and therefore empowered our campaigns to be a lot more successful because we understood what was performing, what wasn't, optimizing accordingly. And so we've had significant success with them and continue to do so, not only on the local side, but on the content side too. And then of course the technical components too. So
were credit unions a big target for you even when Session Interactive started?
Not at all. No. Yeah. We've worked with a ton of industries and we love all of our different industries. We love being agnostic. We love the passion that comes from different industries and their interest levels. I'd say credit unions, without a doubt, are some of the most passionate people we've engaged with. They're in it. They want to do good by their customers, and they want to provide just the best service possible. It's really cool. It's to be a part of that. And so, quickly working with Canvas, we started working with other credit unions and getting excited and able to scale our programs, continue to customize them for individual credit unions. But that's something that we just really gravitated towards, and we're excited to continue our partnerships.
Nice. That's very interesting. So how has the digital marketing landscape kind of evolved since you started in your career?
Significantly. I always like the cliche statement there, right? It's just like, oh, things are changing, it's going to get interesting. These next 6 months are going to be different. And it's wild, right? I mean, Session is about 6 years old or so. And the search engine results pages have changed significantly based on individual queries, as they tend to do. Obviously now with AI, it's shaking things up significantly with AI overviews, really reminiscent of the featured snippet, which came out years ago. As people kind of freaked out, we're going to lose a ton of traffic. And yeah, things are changing, but we're looking to evolve and recognize core opportunities. SEO is not dead. That is not the case by any means. It's evolving, it's changing, and we're adapting with it, and we're embracing it. And we're excited to partner with clients on the traditional sense, and then more of the innovation sense as well.
Has your attitude toward AI shifted at all in the past, 2-3 years?
Yeah, I think initially, when it first came out, I think there's inevitable skepticism on certain things, like what is this doing? Can it really do that? And then there's, a period of individuals being like, wow, this is going to take over everything. Are we just going to be marketing to chatbots down the road? Possibility, right? But, embracing it and seeing what aspects it can augment, what aspects it can expedite for us. Using it as a strategic thinker, using it to bounce ideas off, creating custom chatbots and GPTs for our individual clients, for our departments internally at Session has worked really well. Not only as like an internal learning management system, but also as ability to put together proposals a lot faster, ability to digest and review insights a lot faster, and then prep for collaboration sessions with clients a lot faster as well. So yeah, we're utilizing it. We're embracing it. We've got a full AI strategy that we're really in tune with.
So, you're the founder of Session Interactive. So you've got all this expertise in digital marketing, but you're also that makes you kind of the leader of the team. How important is leadership And what does that look like in terms of digital marketing?
Yeah, it's huge. I think I am a practitioner, right? But I'm admittedly out of the day to day these days. But I really am still obsessed with strategy. I'm still obsessed with innovation. We want to create an atmosphere where people are excited, they feel challenged, they have the ability to grow here internally. And they feel as though they're part of something, that we're doing good, and we're performance based. We always say that, and then a lot of the sayings that I say continuously is like, quality is all we have, right? Session is only as good as the next interaction a client has with a session interactive employee, and hopefully that's a positive interaction. So it comes from the top down, and I want to make sure people are motivated and understanding that we want to push things. We want to get excited. We want to learn. And we want to grow.
Have you found that there is maybe a part of digital marketing or an aspect of it that is maybe ignored or underrated in terms of what brands should be paying more attention to?
Yeah, I think this is kind of age old as well. It's like a lot of brands are still so caught up in the pay to play model. It's addicting, right? They outline and develop perhaps a basic to advanced paid media program, and they allocate resources towards it, and they optimize it, and they see results fairly quickly, right? A lot quicker in certain cases than they would for SEO. So oftentimes brands that are so fixated on that, SEO is at the wayside, or they've done it for years and they're like, man, I need to invest in SEO now, which is going to take longer. And so I think SEO and just a quality, think about it as just audience-based content marketing initiatives and usability improvements kind of thing. And I think that continues to not be a focus to a lot of brands, unfortunately. And they're really reliant on those core paid media channels, which they really should they need to diversify a bit more. And therefore, the diversification can benefit them because the SEO program is really the fixture of the heart of their program with it, which is on the website. So trending content, up to date, improve usability, technical infrastructure, those things, those will all impact all your other channels. So I do think too much reliance on paid media is definitely not a necessarily good thing. Too much reliance on any channel.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
How much patience does somebody who works with a agency like yours need to have? I mean, I've posted ads on Facebook before, and like an hour later, I'm like, phone's not ringing. How much, what kind of attitude or how much awareness should they have in terms of patience?
Yeah, I love that. We get that quite a bit in the sales process too. I think a couple of things like majority of our clients have been burned by an SEO agency or burned by a paid media agency. And it's either they didn't get the performance they needed, they didn't have transparency, there wasn't an actual strategy. Oftentimes we hear this, and this was my experience in previous life too, is like you'd sign a client for an audit and you wouldn't talk to them for 5 weeks, right? Our process is to educate them exactly what they're going to get, exactly what the output generally is going to be. Of course, it's custom. And then for them to have patience and for them to be really confident in the roadmap that we put together based on the strategy. And then knowing that we're going to evolve this strategy typically on a quarterly basis. And so majority of clients are bought into that, and they're understanding the value, and they want to, I hate this phrase, like check the box on certain aspects around technical, and they understand that they really need to cultivate a quality content strategy. Broad statement there, but it takes time. And for the most part, we're getting clients that have good amount of patience and understand the plan and are bought into the plan, and that there's compounded value that's going to come with it.
So when they stick with you over time, how do you kind of measure success in a campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. It's crucial that we're establishing the core goals and we're defining what those core KPIs are upfront, and making sure that analytics configuration is set up, that we're all aligned. We're not going to pick up the reins of a campaign, whether it's paid or SEO, and just trust the data. That's just not how we work. We want to question things. We want to poke holes. And 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 almost of clients that we onboard have blatant data inaccuracies and cleanliness issues. So it's really important that we nail those from the start, those goals and KPIs, then we revisit them typically on a quarterly basis. Transparency in terms of reporting is crucial for us. Transparency in terms of where we're at and benchmark the success. And each quarter, we really understand the progress that we've been made thus far. Really ranges, depends on the industry, depends on certain things, how quickly people will see results. But typically, we're going to see some quality uptick within 3 to 4 months, depending on how quickly we can get things in market and in motion.
Okay, very nice. Hey, I know this. I think this is one of the first episodes of the Built to Convert podcast.
It is.
What are you most excited about in terms of being the host?
Yeah, I'm excited. I told you how we got started, right? It was my network, and I've just been a big advocate of my network, and there's so many people, so many mentors that have benefited me directly or indirectly. So many people I've learned from and continue to learn from. I want to share the wealth. I want them to open the door. I want them give them a place for them to ideate and collaborate with myself and others on the podcast. And I'd love to reestablish some of these relationships that I've had and make sure I can open the doors and benefit others.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, I'll look forward to checking out a few of your future episodes. Hey, Tyler, it's been great to talk to you today. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks so much for your insight.
Of course, Jen. Appreciate it.
So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Built to Convert. If you're serious about growth, don't just listen. Subscribe, leave a review, and follow us for new episodes that drop straight into your feed. Until next time, keep building.